Hello, welcome to my weekly vlog right here on YouTube. Very nice to have you with me. I'm here in my Wellbeing studios. It's been a really busy week. I hope you've caught some of my Instagram and Facebook lives, which we also put up here on YouTube as well. I've had some great guests as always. I try and focus on female founder-led brands. I've had some great ones, talking to Amanda Harrington about Sunless Tanning, and she's been showing us how you can sort of contour your cheekbones with a bit of self-tan, which is great because you wake up in the morning and you've got cheekbones, so that's been a bit of fun. Also promoting young British entrepreneur Chantal, who founded House of Lila, which is really worth checking out because she's got delicious teas and scented candles. So it's a whole kind of sensory experience. And she started her brand just before lockdown. So she is just doing such amazing work online, and she donates 10% of all her profits to art emergency charities, and they are looking for mentors to volunteer young people in the arts world. So if you're able to help, then do check out Art Emergency on their website. Now, as always, it's great to respond to comments and to questions, and I've got some here that have specifically come in from you guys on YouTube, so I thought I'd sit and answer a few questions. This was from Sally, who says, nice to have new ways of using pumpkins. And this is because we put some content up on Earle Wellbeing to show what to do with your innards of your pumpkin. If you've been pumpkin carving making or lantern making, you've obviously got lots of the insides left. And we've got a couple of really good recipes. One is for a roasted pumpkin soup, which is completely delicious. And if you're feeling the chill like I am at the moment, it's a really lovely warming recipe. And the other one, which is really worth trying, is a roasted pumpkin hummus, and this is, you make it like a traditional hummus with tahini, which is the sesame seed paste, and you just mix that together with your pumpkin seeds and your pulp, and it just makes a really unusual tasty hummus, and it's also a really great colour. It's bright orange. It's so good for you. So this, Sally says, I've always binned the seeds in previous years. What a waste, but I'll definitely be roasting them this year. And this is a really good tip, actually. If you have got some pumpkin seeds, what you need to do is you just give them a rinse under the tap to get rid of all the stringy fibrous bits. Then you dry them off, pop them in boiling water, actually, for about 10 minutes to soften them. Then you dry them off, and then you roast them in a hot oven just for about 5 or 10 minutes. Keep an eye on them so they don't burn. And if you sprinkle them with seasonings, you can use salt, pepper, maybe a few spices, some cumin. You could try mixing them with chili flakes, all sorts, and they just crisp up really well. And they're great to add as sprinkles. You can put them onto, well, pretty much any dish. You could add them to soups, for example, as a bit of extra crunch. So that's something that you might like to do if you are carving any pumpkins. I've also been talking a lot about kefir. So many of you who followed me for a long time will know that I'm a big fan of kefir. This is like a supercharged probiotic yogurty drink, and you don't need very much of it. You know, this is a reasonable sized little glassful, but actually even just a few spoonfuls of kefir is going to give you billions of beneficial bacteria. And there's lots online about this. And if you go to Earle Wellbeing, you'll find how to make your own kefir. I've got a YouTube tutorial on how to make your own kefir as well. Super easy. You just get some kefir grains and then you just let them stew almost overnight in the milk of your choice. And bingo, in the morning they've turned into kefir. So as we look at all these unusual and different ways to help support our immune system, then having more probiotic goodness in our daily diet is a really good idea. So I hope that has encouraged you. And in fact, this was a note here from Happier with Hazel on YouTube. Thanks for leaving me your comment. You've said, I've just begun taking Nourish Kefir. It's great because I can use soy milk as I don't take dairy. Didn't like it at first, but absolutely love it now. And it's a British product, which is great. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Kefir is one of those things that when you first try it, you might think, oh, that's a bit sour or that's a bit fizzy. But actually, after a couple of days of drinking even a small amount, you find that you almost get a healthy craving for it. It's almost as if those little beneficial gut bugs are calling out for more kefir to feed them, to keep them going. So it's certainly something that I try and have every day, and I try and make sure that my kids drink it as well. Lots of chat, as always, on HRT and estrogen and the importance of replacing estrogen, and really interesting studies going on at the moment looking at the link between estrogen and helping to support our immune system. So that's something that is definitely ongoing, and I know there are studies there looking particularly at the effects of long COVID, which we're hearing more about now, and ways that we can better support our immune system, potentially through making sure that we are replacing lost estrogen. So this was a message here from Kim Osman on YouTube, who says, after seeing your video related to HRT, I'm now so much more informed. This was something that I did for World Menopause Day with Davina McCall and Lorraine Kelly and Dr. Louise Newson, who is the founder of the Menopause Charity. So Kim, you say, thanks to you, Davina, Louise, etc., the HRT positive word is slowly but surely educating so many women. And if you would like to know more about that, there's lots on Earle Wellbeing, obviously, and I've even written an e-guide. It's called The Truth About HRT, and I wrote it because I was just so fed up of so much misinformation out there, and still this scaremongering and myth-making about the dangers of estrogen for midlife women, when in fact it's so health protective, and potentially never more so as we start to think more about supporting our immune system. And this also from Tracy, actually, also on YouTube, similar subject, saying, hi Liz, a big fan of yours. I'm hoping you'll be pleased to know that after suffering for over 8 years from menopause symptoms and feeling rubbish, because of you, I'm trying HRT patches. I've always been scared to try, but now I'm biting the bullet and giving them a go. I can't wait to hopefully starting to feel better. Well, Tracy, I hope you're watching or listening right now, and I hope you are indeed starting to feel very much better. And lastly, this was a comment from Becky here, talking about lanolin. I'm also a big fan of using lanolin, which is the purified extract that comes from sheep's fleeces. And it's something that you can get. It's a medical grade ingredient. It's incredibly safe to use. You know, you can use it as a nipple cream when breastfeeding. So it's considered even safe for newborn babies to be ingesting. And it's a really lovely skin soother. So if you're getting perhaps little patches of cracked skin or chapped skin, so much hand washing going on, and this colder weather now just kind of drying everything out, it's really nice just to rub on cracked areas of skin, or maybe put on the lips as well. So you've said, Becky, I used to use lanolin when I was breastfeeding. I'm going to go and get more as a beauty item. Thank you, Liz. Well, it's always nice to kind of bust a few myths along the way, whether they're about ingredients or about hormones or about healthy things to eat. Now, just before I sign off, I just wanted to share with you something really exciting. This is a little sneaky preview of something that has just arrived in my studios. It's the proof of the cover of the new edition of Earle Wellbeing magazine. Now, don't forget that this is now a subscriber-only magazine. We're not in retail anymore. We're not in the shops, but we are still printing. So if you'd like to get your copy to read, just go over to the website and sign up for that. And the new issue, this whole new edition, which is of course the Christmas issue, so it covers November and December, that will start to be mailed any day now. So you can expect to see it pinging its way through your letterbox onto your doormat if you are a subscriber. It's a beautiful issue and I hope you love it. That is it for me for now. Join me live tomorrow if you can on Instagram or Facebook. I'll be back with my regular Friday live. Also Friday, of course, is podcast day. I've got the new episode of the Friday 5 coming out, and of course the Earle Wellbeing newsletter if you're signed up for that too. So I wish you very well. Thanks for being with me. See you very soon. Bye.